We are finally live for the first time today. I almost didn't bother again tonight. Earlier I could have, but I was just so preoccupied playing games, not being able to figure out what I wanted to do. So I was just like, you know what? Forget it, is what I said to myself. But now I might play a little bit of Diablo and see how that goes. Hello, Spylent. Not too much, you? Now, I've had a few people message me the word POG, and I think I Googled it like a long time ago. Hello, Jane. I forget if POG is an insult or a compliment. I forget what it's supposed to mean. So I played a little bit of this earlier on PC, and I was having some fun. I don't know why. Hello, Tyrone. Sometimes I feel unsettled when I have a game on PC that could be on my PlayStation. Ah, okay, it does. Okay, so it's not a bad word. Because sometimes I've had people say POG, and I'm like, is this where I kick the guy, or slap him, or suplex him, or give him, a high five? I can't tell. Okay, there's already 6 people in here. We'll do some of the boring stuff in a couple of minutes. I played some Fishing Planet today, the free version. I also played, like I said, Ultimate Fishing Simulator on PC. I would rather have it on PS5. And of course, the POG is that I have the Hitman PlayStation 4 edition and the PS5 edition. So it's pretty exciting. Hello, everyone. Wow, already 8 people in here. It used to take me 3 hours streaming to get that many people. So it's going to be fun. And again, before I get into the Diablo, just for a little bit at least, the reason I did the PS4 and the PS5 version installed on my system is real simple. As everybody knows, you only get 667 gigabytes of internal SSD storage space for PS5 games. Games that are branded an actual PS5 title must be installed on the internal hard drive, whereas the PlayStation 4 version of a game can be installed wherever the hell you want it. And I have an external SSD, which is much larger, more than 4 times the size of my internal hard drive. See where I'm going with this? If the only difference between the PS4 and the PS5 version of the game is 4K at 60 frames with HDR, who cares? I got a 1080p TV from over half a decade ago. I ain't got HDR. I ain't got 4K, and I don't care about 4K, to be honest. I care about 60 frames. This game is old. This game, through backwards compatible on the PS5, allows for a quality mode with 60 frames per second. And I've played that a couple of times over the last week. It runs flawlessly. So it's safe to probably assume that if this game can run at 60 frames on the higher quality setting, there's no reason the PS4 version can't. And if it does, well, I'm just going to delete that one. Because, you know what I mean? Like, maybe I'll have to see, because I'm starting to run out of room. I don't want to delete all my other games, right? Hello, Seeing Tao. How are you doing? Did that make sense to a couple of people? I forgot who said they had Diablo 3. Was it Cody, or did Cody have... Cody had something. I think he had the zombie game, State of Decay 2. I'm a 50-year-old young gamer who desperately wants to get into RPG gaming. Bought a gaming PC, but RPGs intimidate me. Learning curve. Yeah, they can be. It depends what kind of RPG game you're talking about. Jim, Bob, Joe. Why do I have a bad feeling about this? Jim, Bob, Joe. It's a little bit bizarre. Jim. Yeah, I like Phil Collins. I don't see a reason to not like Phil Collins. Now, if you asked me if I liked Eric Clapton, I would say, fuck that guy. But yeah, I like Phil Collins quite a bit. He's a good dude. So it seems. I mean, I haven't exactly shadowed him for his, his entire life there. Alright, so I started playing season mode. I got up to level 10 fairly quickly. I don't know if he's shitting out blood out of his ass or what the hell's the story with that. But I'm going to make a, well, I've already made him, rather. Adventure mode. I just want to kind of get a feel for the game really quick. Any suggestions? My first RPG was King's Quest. Yeah, Skyrim can be. Do you have Steam? Yes, Phil Collins is awesome. Now, I know. Oh, we've already lost half the people that were in here. Does anybody wonder why I don't like Eric Clapton? Maybe some people are like, what? How can you not like Eric Clapton? Musically, I love Eric Clapton. Personally, I fucking don't like him. It's just such a random question, right? Like, how can you not like Phil Collins? So about RPGs. Do you have the computer program Steam to buy games? Skyrim can be just an absolute amazing experience. Skyrim is really badass. And it can be very, very cheap, too. Yeah, Skyrim. Grim Dawn is a game sort of like Diablo 3. Like, you're saying you're new to gaming. But are you new to knowing about games? Like, are you familiar with Diablo 3? Are you familiar with Skyrim? Or is it just that you're new to actually partaking in playing the video games? Or have you been under a rock your whole life? Just so I kind of know. The Festering Woods. Oh, I did it again. It would help if I took with me a companion. The Enchantress shall accompany me. So we have a follower. How you doing? I've played a little Skyrim. Okay, so, yeah. Skyrim, yeah, Minecraft. Man's on Echo. Who? Do you drink? I don't drink. I've been sober 20 years as of 3 days ago. So again, I'm just dicking around here. I'm just kind of getting a feel for playing the game again. Season. So that means there's no Paragon points. There's nothing. I just kind of haven't really played this game in a while. I've been playing a lot of ARPGs lately. All these supposed Diablo clones, and I kind of wanted to go back to the roots of one of my favorite games ever. Despite some very much hate towards this game sometimes. But this game can be quite challenging, you know? It really can, especially when you crank up the difficulty. It's not just standing there mashing a button like I'm doing right now. You gotta dodge, you gotta move out of the way. You see a couple of different groups of enemies. Who do you go for first? You get a potion that you can use every 15 or 20 seconds. And sometimes you gotta figure out, do I use it right now or do I wait a little bit? Can I survive? You know, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, Minecraft is one of those, like, you know. I'm not too sure if I know Jade Empire. Just off the top of my head, I can't think of anything but Grim Dawn, Skyrim. I mean, Diablo, but on PC, I think the game sucks. And it requires a persistent internet connection even if you're playing by yourself. So it's a little bit of an epic fail in that regards. Don't mind me here. Just kinda... There we go. Just doing this for a little bit. I'm probably going to play some... Are you into driving? I just started playing a game called American Truck Simulator. It is pretty badass. Although I wouldn't really consider that an RPG. It's obviously a simulator. But off the top of my head, I'm having a hard time thinking of some games. I might be able to take a look after if I do play some American Truck Simulator, or look at my Steam list to see some of the games that I have on there. Oh, okay. Oh. Like attacking in the wind. My follower gets nothing. Okay. It's not bad, but I'm comparing this to the Necro, and the Necro was definitely going much quicker for kills. I'm almost done this already. I played for a couple of hours earlier there. There, bounty's done already. So that didn't take too long. Oh. There you go. Might as well kill the last couple here.
I need fury.
I bet you do.
Need more time.
Well, we ain't got no time. Next year when I turn 15, oh boy. The skill tree. The skill trees are what always oh yeah, skill trees can be annoying. Oh, Dark Souls, Jesus. Don't kill the guy now. Dark Souls. What's your favorite RPG to play in 4K? 4K? I don't like 4K. I shit on 4K. I'm not a 4K fan. I'm a very odd person. But I hate 4K with a passion. If you want, I can elaborate on why that is. How can anyone not like 4K? It's quite simple.
Yes, I live in art, I think.
I like my 1080p. Alright, so we're good with that. That was just to give me a bit of a taste. Yeah, I don't think I remember Jade Empire, to be honest. Anyways, that was just to give me a little bit of a taste there of that. Yeah, so the reason I can't stand 4K, and I think it's shit, is really simple. We live in a world where 4K, 60 frames, rock steady, whatever, is near impossible. So, normally we live in a world where you would have to pick between 1080p at 60 frames a second or 4K at 30 frames. No thanks. I don't want to play something at 30 frames if I could play it at 1080p at 60 frames. I have a beautiful TV. It's got perfect backlighting uniformity. It's an LG from 5 to 7 years ago. It's probably one of the best TVs I've ever had in my whole life. It's 1080p. So now let me go and spend money to get more resolution and have to spend more money upgrading my PC so that I can get the same performance I'm getting right now. No, not happening. So that's why I don't like 4K. You did. That's the thing, though. You are not me. You don't have my computer. I have a 7-year-old computer from 2013, 2014. I just spent $1,000 back in March during the first lockdown in my country with COVID on a graphics card on an RTX 2070 Super. $1,000 with the extended warranty. Well, $950. Whatever. I rounded it up to $1,000 because it just sounds more dramatic. Hello, Perez. So now I'm looking to having to spend another $1,600 to modernize my computer. Every couple of years, they change the stupid goddamn socket type for CPUs, so that means I need a new motherboard. Well, if I get a new CPU and get a new motherboard, I might as well get a new power supply, right? Get new RAM, kind of get everything, right? I don't want to be rocking a brand spanking new $800 CPU and a $1,000 graphics card and I have a power supply from, the Vietnam War era. Get it? Something goes wrong, it just, that ends up being my weak point. So I want everything to be together, the same age. If money wasn't an issue, let's throw money out the window. I do have a high-end GPU. Well, I mean, a higher end than what I had a few months ago. I had a GTX 970 a few months ago. Now I have an RTX 2070 Super. Yes, I know, there's the 3090. I don't fucking care about that shit. My $950 I spent less than a year ago is as far as I'm going with a graphics card for like another good 2 to 3 years. Yeah. So let's throw money out the window now. It's out. It's out the window. There's no issue. I just got a $20,000 thing dropping from the sky. I would still probably not really do 4K. I would probably buy a 4K TV just because almost all the TVs now are 4K, right? And sure, I would try and run the game at 4K. But when you talk about eye candy, do you want me to tell you what really puts the nail in the coffin for eye candy? Never mind 4K. I mean, sure, if you can do it, great. HDR. Not enough people talk about HDR. They don't. Everyone's 4K, 4K, 4K. No one talks about HDR. I saw a rare television made by LG. It was a 1080p TV, 32-inch, and it had HDR. I compared it with a 4K panel with no HDR. Watch it. Watch what I'm about to say. It's blasphemous. The 1080p TV with HDR looked much better, in my opinion, than the same game in the same area, the same setting at 4K with no HDR. And HDR is free, resource-wise. HDR takes no resource, whereas the 4K is insanely demanding, right? Crazy stories to share about my life. Oh boy. Tao just went, wow, that's either good or bad. Anyways, I'm talking a lot, which is what I do. That's why the chat says, oh, actually, I titled it properly. Mainly chatting and some gaming. So that was appropriately titled. I've been kind of in a mood to play this game. I'm kind of weird. I have it on PC, but I told you I'm weird because my PC is lacking. It's trailing behind the times. My PS5 is now more powerful, more reliable than my PC. Not only that, What was I going to say? I like my PC for streaming, for recording, and I like my PlayStation 5 to do the heavy lifting. Does that make sense? Because right now, as it stands, even though my computer's really old, apart from my graphics card, not everything's about the graphics card, I can play anything on pretty much medium to ultra at 60 frames. I can play Red Dead Redemption 2 on high at 60 frames a second. If you can play Red Dead Redemption 2 at 60 frames a second on high, you don't really need to upgrade your computer. You know what I'm saying? That game kind of sets the bar. You know what I mean? And I can do it. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, high to ultra at 60 frames. Just don't ask me to stream and have a web browser and have my fancy DSLR camera running with my microphone and the fancy snowing animated background from my backdrop of my webcam running all at the same time, though. That's too much. Hence why I like to game on the console. The console in Canadian dollars with taxes and a 3-year warranty over the counter was $800. Now, $800 could have paid for maybe half of a new computer. But I didn't want to do that. Do you want half a computer or a PS5? Right? Because ultimately I do have a computer that works. I mainly play single player. I do play some online games. The online games that I play are Call of Duty. Oh, you have a 2070 Super. Oh, nice. Yeah, I got mine in March. I could have waited, but it's always about waiting, right? Okay, let's get down to business here. Let me show you what I have on console that I like. Okay, so Hitman. I love my sports games, PS5 games. I still keep this Assassin's Creed Valhalla kicking around on the PS5 because it's just fun to kind of mindlessly roam around. It's it's a next gen, title. It runs well at Call of Duty. Like I need to explain that. Basketball, sports game again. Borderlands 3 is kind of a cool action third person or first person RPG ish game. Unique graphics. I got the PS5 version of the game, runs at 60 frames, got a lot of replay value, so that's on there. And then, of course, FIFA, because that's the other sports title. And then Spider Man, I keep it around just because, again, the PS5 version is quite a huge step up from the PS4 version. Therefore, that's why I have all these games taken up my PS5. And after that, there's really not that much more room for the time being. And then what I have on the extended storage, the PS4 version of Hitman 3, but I do have the PS5 version as well. Farming Sim, I also have the PS4 version of Call of Duty if I ever wanted to go back. Because to be honest with you, it's not that big of a difference. Hitman 2. This is kind of a one-off game. You play it, you're kind of done with it once the story's over. Tropico 6, infinite replay value. Torchlight 3, kind of like a Diablo 3 game. Same with this one. Isometric top-down action, ARPG. These will be short-lived games. Same with most of these. These are kind of like you play them once, you're done. Dying Light could be fun co-op. Sims 4 has a lot of replay value. That's co-op online. Grand Theft Auto 5, like I even need to explain that. Skyrim. I have it on PC as well. I dumped a couple of 1,000 hours into that. I don't think I'd really go back to that. It's too much of a grind. I might as well go back to WoW. That could be fun co-op. If you play online, I suppose. I don't like playing that game online. Infinite replay value, Civilization 6. This could be fun with friends. I'm just kind of going quickly through my games there. This could be fun online. I really like that game. This is just a game that you play it once, but you could just keep replaying all the battles. The graphics and everything are just so much fun. I could just keep playing it. Another sports game. That's got a Legends co-op mode. That's got a co-op mode. That's got a co-op mode or a PvP mode. I don't like playing PvP. Infinite replay value because no two matches are the same. Again, sports game. Single player game, but it's just so much fun. I like dicking around with it. That's mindless ass kicking. And that's the game I was just playing. So that's kind of like my not my whole collection. I got over 500 games. But Those are my top ones on my console, at least. Hello, person that I can't remember your name. How can I get a PS5? My old arse can't find one. Oh, it's so easy. Which Hitman should I start with and play through? Oh man, Hitman's great. I mean, if you could afford it, I would just get the third one and buy the access pass. If not, Hitman 2 should be on a deep, deep sale right now. That's a wonderful game. This is Carrick from ECG, bringing you reviews that aren't 2 minutes long or filled with sponsored bullcrap. Did that answer your question? Anyways, yeah. So that's what I do on console. Yeah, he's awesome. I love that guy. You know what? Before I go off to the world of PC, let me just kind of look at my again because the sale is coming to an end. I'm running out of money. I'm a little bit stressed out. A year and a half monetized on YouTube, and this is bar none, my absolute worst month ever financially on YouTube. So I'm quite disheartened. Like I'm talking like a good, so far I'm like a good $350 lower than I usually am. So a lot of these games that I'm like, $40, $16, forget about it. You know what I mean? It's more like, I don't know if I can forget about it. You know what I mean? Because, yeah, $350 is a lot of money. But some of these games I did want to try out, though. Especially the ones that are on big sale. Oh boy. So how are you, Haru-chan? Okay, let me figure something out really quick. Let me, because I have it on PC as well, but again, I told you I'm weird. If I can play a game on PC and PS5, I rather play it on PS5. It's simpler. It's just easier for me. Game saves don't go all over the goddamn place. It's easier for me to keep track of. It's less stress off my computer again, like I said, for when I'm streaming. This game, again, fun is a subjective term. Some people like watching paint dry. You know what I mean? I do have the Platinum Edition on PC. I was kind of thinking of getting it matched on the PS5. Game only runs at 30 frames, but it's a rock solid 30 frames. It's a farming game. But you'd be surprised how it can make a difference still, though, getting that 60 FPS. But if I were to ever play that on stream, I wouldn't be able to handle 60 frames, I don't think, and do the stream. Not much is going on. I'm just going to add it to my cart for now. And I'll get into the game just really quick. I just kind of want to do the tutorial. Just to kind of check it out really quick. Again, everything's on an external SSD, so we kind of get an idea of how it runs on the PS5. SSD. Hello, Cody. Mouse key. Really? That's kind of an odd thing to say. Can we play this game with a mouse and keyboard? Some games you can. Call of Duty can play this mouse keyboard. No, we can't. Okay. So far, at least. Let me just play this really quick. Seasons. We have mods. Let's give it a go. Assassin's Creed's Valhalla. My voice cracked. My BattleNet name is Zen Gamer, if anyone would like to. Sounds good. I have Battle.net. I mean, I don't use it much. I used to play WoW. I still kind of still want to maybe go back to it. Something, it's a complicated story. Yeah, so this is 30 frames. But it's still, you know, in my opinion, playable. I don't remember what I was doing. I do know that I don't know. This is kind of complicated. Oh, that one's almost full. Hey, you didn't finish the field. Helper B has completed their task. Doesn't look like they did. Kind of half-assed job is that? That shit don't look plowed to me. Unless he seeded it and it started to grow back and perfectly symmetrically forgot to seed the left part. Don't trust the AI to work for you. Oh, yeah, because you're on PC. Yeah. Well, it's cross-platform anyways. I just wanted to, No, not that. There we go. So this game can be quite relaxing in my opinion. It can just be a lot of fun. It could be a little monotonous. I just like the whole simulator thing. I'm a huge thing on Sims. Like The Sims 4, Truck Simulator, Farming Simulator, Fishing Simulator. I just like, you know, Sim. My nickname should be Philly Sim, you know? But yeah, to me this is quite playable. Now all of a sudden, I hired someone. There we go. Hopefully she knows what she's doing. I'm only going to do this for a few minutes, by the way. I'm just kind of... It's one of those games where it's not, like, complicated. But at the same time, I don't want to spend too much time playing this because I do feel like I kind of need a moment to myself to really kind of figure shit out. Because I am kind of confused, like with this, for example. Why is it that the guy abandoned it? Or I think it's full. Oh, there, 83% full. Okay, that's what it is. So I would need to dump it. Is anyone into this kind of stuff? Farming sim? Would anyone ever play this online? I just get curious what people are into. Ah, there we go. Giddy up, cowboy. Oh. Where are you going without a helmet? There we go. Yeah, like just the idea of driving these tractors is just fun. I even have farming life. I haven't played it in a while, but anyhow, it's fun. I like it. So again, it's not that these games are challenging, it kind of gives you something to do. It could be, you know, peaceful to play. I'm not always into high-intensity games. I suffer from terrible anxiety and stuff like that, and high blood pressure. And it's gonna sound sappy, but I'm all about that. You know, that zen, that trying to, like, you know, stay mellow and relaxed. Don't want to give myself a heart attack or another stroke kind of thing, you know? Yeah, that's right, you heard that correctly. Another one. I've had a stroke before, a few years ago. It was some pretty scary shit. Definitely the scariest shit I've ever experienced in my life. Well, yeah, probably. Because I've had other episodes of shit in my life that, whoops. Good thing that's automatic. So again, you know, is this boring? Probably for some people. But for me, there's something, you know, simplistic about it and relaxing, and then watching the AI in the background do her thing, and, you know. I'm into this kind of stuff, right? First time I ever streamed this or even record footage of this, I think. I might have done a first impressions video when the game first came out a couple of years ago. But, yeah. I will be almost done with this. Because, like I said, I don't think this is quite what I want to play tonight while I'm streaming. But yeah, Tal. Or anyone, I guess not. I guess nobody's into the farming simulator co-op. Or into that idea of it. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of this field really quick. How would I do that? Turn on the harvester. I only gotta do this one quick little strip. What I am going to do, just for something different. Real time, normal, traffic, dirt, fuel usage, low, buy. I was looking for something. And I can't think what oh, that's what I was looking for. The volume. Ah, there it is. I was like, where is it? Vehicle volume. 80%, environment 80. I just want to see what it sounds like. Really? That still seems kind of loud. Can you still hear the engine going, the motor? I mean, that might be a little bit too low. I'm trying to get the perfect, whoops, volume here. Oh, I hired someone by accident. There we go. Ah! Can you still hear the truck, or are you having a hard time hearing it now? Because I don't want it to be, like, completely muted, but I mean, it's not like it's an enjoyable thing to hear when you're trying to talk. And yes, I am almost done this. I just want to finish this field, which I just did now. There we go. Anybody able to tell me my volumes for the trucks, if they're still able to be heard but more bearable? You can speak full English now? Oh, it's only at 58%. Well then... That's odd. Let me try... Whoops. Tyrone! Anyone, How's the volume of the trucks? Are they loud? Can you still hear them? There we go. Eight went. Okay, so I think that's it for this. I think, yeah, because it's empty now. So this one's empty. We don't need to do anything about him. Or it. The truck doesn't have a gender, as far as I know. Although it does have a long pipe. I'm just saying that's another story for another day. And now I'm almost done. Now it's just me being curious as to where I would go to deposit this. I don't remember. I think it's over here. I think. I have no idea. Taking a wild guess. Oh, there. Start overloading. Oh, there you go. I feel accomplished now. Yeah, it's not a bad little game. It's pretty decent. Okay, I'm going to save the game. Good. Like the trucks weren't too loud? Okay. Now we'll quit the game. Like I said, I'm still on the fence. I mean, I'm having fun. It just I already have it on PC, the DLC, but as I mentioned, I do prefer having some games on my PS5, and you know, $16 is a lot better than 27 for the Platinum expansion. It gives you like an additional like 35 trucks. It's quite a bit of content. But I'll have to wait and kind of see if there's anything else I decide to buy instead. I'm just so effing torn. Especially with the ones that are on sale. The ones that aren't on sale, I mean, they can wait. Right? Like this one, you know, 50% off. The sale ends in 2 days. Hmm? Yeah, some good sales here. Who, me? Oh, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. Like I said, I mean, I went through my games list. I'd almost have to look at my games again. PC advent. I don't really play PC though. That's the thing. I mean, I'm sure most of the games I have on console would be on PC as well. RPG, I wouldn't consider Hitman an RPG. That's an RPG, but an ARPG. Yeah, so probably like Borderlands I consider an RPG. It's a first-person shooter RPG, but it's absolutely RPG. It'd probably be up there, probably like Diablo 3, Borderlands 3, anything that ends with 3. RPG. Dying Light is amazing, but I suck at the game. Warhammer Vermintide 2, I have so much fun with that, playing that online. Yeah, Skyrim definitely has to be up there. Sometimes I have a hard time knowing what's really considered an RPG, like something like Ghost Recon Wildlands. You know, you've got a lot of leveling up, you've got all these skills, all these different weapons, different tiers. I mean, I don't really consider it an RPG. Skyrim to me is more of an RPG than this, but I consider Ghost Recon more of an action adventure game. That's still a game that I enjoy quite a bit. Now, The Witcher 3, that's absolutely an RPG. Love The Witcher 3. Yeah, so those are some of them there. Is Shadow of War considered an RPG? I mean, there's leveling, there's skills. Well, I mean, I do like it. You can also play it offline. It's not like Breakpoint. It's got a beautiful map. Especially if you can get it cheap. It's a good game, not terribly hard on the computer. Let me just load this up really quick. Let me see if I can get a feel for this, because there is a paid version of this that's got all the DLC and all that. Yeah, I've tried For Honor. For Honor's good. It's an online only game. So that bugs me quite a bit. And it's the same with this as well. So, yeah. This one, yeah, it's online only. Oh, it's hard to say. Like I said, you kind of caught me at a bad time where I'm having a hard time thinking and playing certain games. Just full out single player games. I mean, Red Dead Redemption 2 comes to mind as it has to be in there. Red Dead Redemption 2, probably The Witcher 3, Skyrim. I don't really do the whole top 5 thing. I just have too many games that I enjoy. But those are definitely some of them for sure that I can just keep going back to. Let me see if this is any good. So this is a free-to-play game, like I said. It's pretty interesting. Catch. Travel to Lone Star Lake. Lone Star Lake. Well, we're there. I'll just try and catch a fish really quick. I'm still, like I said, going between this and Ultimate Fishing Simulator, which has a single player. Let's see where I should go. Let's go on this side. Let us go fishing. For a free game, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't be. I mean, it could be a tough game, but it's super in depth. If you can get the whole game, see, it's an online game. You got people with you. Not that that makes things exciting for me, but maybe I could hook one of them in the eyeball. Maybe I could go fishing for their eye. Or grab their testicle. Use that as a bait for a piranha. Don't ask me what that was. What the hell kind of throw was that? Ah, come on. So when you're pointing it out like that, like a sword, like you're fencing, that's when where you hold it back, you can really hoof it. If you do it the other way where your rod, never mind, where your rod's up in the air, you'll just kind of go bloop. You won't really do much. Gotta wait. There we go. Come here, you little bastard. No, it wasn't so bad. like I said, these games are kind of, relaxing. All right, I got lucky there. Maybe I'll catch one more. Have you seen American Truck Simulator? Oh, I wasn't even sure. I didn't even pay attention. But yeah, The Witcher 3 for a third-person action adventure RPG is just insane. It's just such an amazing game. And oftentimes you can get it for like a $15 American. Like, I don't know what country you're in. But yeah, it's up there. Like I said, the Skyrims, the Witchers, for like a single player game, those are just, they're up there. Same thing with Fallout 4. Fallout 4 is definitely a game that I really do enjoy. If you like the post-apocalyptic stuff, I think I kind of tend to group Fallout 4 and Skyrim together in the sense that they're both a Bethesda, you know, open world, amazing game. But if I had to pick between the two of them, I would probably hop all over Skyrim before Fallout 4. That's not to say Fallout 4 is bad, though. Right? See, we're not getting so lucky now with the fishy. What do you mean the strike was done to it? There wasn't even a bite. Where'd my... Oh, there it is. Oh. There we go. That kind of happened fast. That's what she said. But, yeah. Cool. Anyways, you get the idea. Fishing Planet, it's kind of cool. Decent, graphics. It's free. The catch is, there's a grind. You pay $20 Canadian, you can buy the Fisherman Edition. It has everything unlocked. Whee! Look at that. Okay, that's enough of that. No, not go fishing. Leave. Yes, I'm sure. Oh, The Last of Us is just wicked. Do you have a P... Oh, yeah, so PS5. What country are you in? Not really. You're in the good old US of A. Some wacky stuff. We're not going to get into it in this stream. We're not going there. I've been there. I've been there too many times on my streams. Boy, oh boy, is there some wacky shit going on down there right now, you know what I'm saying? With some obvious stuff occurring in the next couple of days. It's pretty wild. In Ohio, nice. I have a few friends in Ohio. Mind you, I have friends everywhere across probably all the states. Yeah, so if you have a GameStop, which is a sister-like company to EB Games, it kind of falls under the same umbrella. Every store may have some slightly different, rulings or whatever. But when the PS5 came out around my birthday, mid-November, I called my local EB Games, which is a GameStop in the States. And I just said, hey, you still do that whole waiting list thing? They're like, sure. You'll eventually get a call. We can't promise when, for obvious reasons. It's the PS5. So they put me on a list. Here's the thing. Not a lot of people know about the list. I made a video on this. So what do you think happened? 3 weeks after being put on the list. Yeah, Phil. Yeah, so it's EB Games. We got your PS5. You still want it? Yeah. the bear's still shit in the woods, right? So, yeah. And then I was all like, do I need to panic? Do I need to run? And I said, no, 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 no. There's no panicking. We're holding it for 48 hours. It's literally got your name on it. It's got like those sticker tag things. The Philminator. Right on the box. So I took my time. I drove there. There it was. Pulled out my rocket launcher, my Gatling gun, and my machete when I was walking through the parking lot. No bullshit, and I'm not making this up. I'm in Canada. Not much goes on here, no offense, compared to the US. Capitol Hill riots. Anyways, and I walked through the parking lot, couple of eyes on me. What is it with people that drive pickup trucks? I'm telling you, there's something about them, especially when they got like a lot of chrome and a lot of lights and they're really big tires. There's just always something weird about that. But coincidentally, one of them, I don't know if they were following me, but it was pretty convenient how they were just so happening to go in the same direction I was for a while. Every time I turn, signal at the last second, they just so happen to need to turn. Eventually, I just stopped and they just went by. Fucker wouldn't even look at me. But he saw. He saw. He was probably trying to size me up. But I had a fake Halloween machete with me. And it's pretty shiny. It was a little bit dark out. You probably couldn't really tell the difference. But some fucking wacky shit here. Well, that's why I have to go there now because that's just what I do. That's why with the Trump supporters, I always say, it's one thing if you support Trump, but if you support Trump and the tires on your pickup truck are half the height of your fucking trailer or taller, and it's got them fucking flags and shit, and you've got the Confederate flag in the back window, and you know what I'm saying? And you're wearing plaid and it's black and red, and you actually wear your hat on straight. It's like a trucker hat, and you got a beard. You were probably at the Capitol Hill riot. I'm just saying. There's some crazy shit. Obviously, that's a stereotype, but it's a funny one. Tyrone, you're like 12 years old. What truck are you driving? I'm just saying. Now that I'm just going to say, and because now you mentioned it, I got to go there now. That you don't see too often. You really don't. Right? But now me, like I said, I save the nastiness for Twitter. Me, I've made it pretty vocal, that I don't like them. But the difference with me, though, and Democrats hate this about me on Twitter. They're like, he's not a true resistor. It's like, bitch, I never said I was a resistor. I ain't resisting shit. I don't resist the urge to speak to everybody. You know what I mean? If you're a Biden Harris supporter, you're a Black Lives Matter supporter, like I am, then there's nothing to talk about. We're on the same page. But I've met a couple of people, you know what I'm saying? They play on the other side of the field. And I'm a Christian on top of that, so you would think, ooh, right? No, I don't do that. I talk to everybody. If the people that I talk to are friendly, I can have a good conversation with them, then that's where I go with that. Plain and simple. You know what I mean? But yeah, yeah. Now I have to ask, if you don't mind me asking, because it's not often, you know, you meet a person of color who supports Trump. I mean it happens, but Yeah. Uh, are you for Black Lives Matter? I know that might sound like an odd question, but there are people like this one I don't like too much because she's just a little bit Candace Owens. She does not like Black Lives Matter, and if you don't know who she is for the other people, she is a black woman. So, you know, it's oh, you don't, eh? No, I don't drink. Yeah. No, it's always interesting. Like I said, because it is a rare thing, obviously, right? It is a rare thing for, a person of color not to support Black Lives Matter. Because some people share like Candace Owens' view, that they're rioters, same thing with Antifa and then I always say, hey, that's how I feel about the Proud Boys. When you look at some other people and their groups, some of them are, in my opinion, a lot more vile than others. But I always, I always say no one's perfect. Yeah, because most people that support Trump are see, because that's what's interesting about politics, which I want to talk about really quick. Have you ever had to replace your car? Not lately. I haven't owned my own in 2 decades. Uh, what's interesting about that with politics in general is usually, like if you're a Trump supporter, you'll automatically hate Black Lives Matter. You won't like Antifa, however you want to pronounce it. Isn't it kind of funny that like you can almost guess as soon as someone says I support Trump, you can almost like guess the next 20 questions you might have for that person. Do you like Candace Owens? Do you like Black Lives Matter? Do you like Antifa? All that kind of stuff, right? You almost know like the answer right away because almost everyone I've ever spoken to, I have yet to meet a Trump supporter who supports Black Lives Matter, but that's not to say that it's impossible. Just because you pick one side of the political spectrum doesn't mean that you're going to see eye to eye with every single other Trump supporter, right? Oh, nice. Yeah, that's what some people say. Me, like I said, I have my opinions for sure. Nice. But no, like I said, it's always interesting. Speaking of Trump supporters, it's really interesting, especially last summer when I was playing. Yeah, I've heard of some people say that. I mean, I've met some people that are huge into the movement, which I mean, I have to admit, I do support it. I'm not going to backtrack on that. I do support it. I do support the main message that it portrays or that it's supposed to. But there's absolutely no doubt. It's not, what's the word I'm looking for? It's never black or white, right? No pun intended. There's a gray area, right? Could be in between. And some of them I do feel like they push what you were just saying, white guilt. You know, I have met some people that really, really push it hard. Uh, hasn't happened too often, but I've had a few people of color find out that I support the movement, and then they go, "Oh, how noble of you that you support Black Lives Matter when your ancestors probably enslaved us," and blah 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 blah. And it's like, whoa, chill the fuck out, you know. And that's where I put my foot down. Then it's like, hey, listen here, motherfucker. You know what my ancestors may have done has nothing to do with me. Judge me for me, my character. Don't look at what my great, I don't even know his goddamn name. You know what I mean? Where he was 300 years ago. Fuck. How am I supposed to be held responsible for that shit? Right? Hold me responsible for what I'm doing in my everyday life, not for what someone did 300 years ago somewhere along in my ancestry. Right? But again, that doesn't happen often, but it's there. Right? That's why I hate when people well, yeah, because see that, and now we're really opening up a can of whoop. Let me switch on to something else really quick while I'm talking about this quickly. While it remains a friendly discussion. Console. Yes, okay, we'll do that. Let me switch my TV input. Let me get my truckin' on, at least for a couple of minutes. Like I said, I don't know how much longer I'm going to stream for. Like, there's always going to be things, like I said, about everything that I may or may not agree with. Like the Capitol Hill riots. I mean, I'm sorry, but yeah, I don't support that. Right? So, I mean, if I met a Trump supporter that's like, no, that was really good what they did there. That was good. That was needed. Yeah, I'm not going to agree with that, obviously. I know a lot of, well, maybe not a lot, but I do know some Trump supporters that don't stand for the riots, obviously. Those are, again, your hardcore extremists. Like the shit with the Proud Boys? Come on now. There ain't nothing good. There's nothing to be proud of with those guys. When you turn on the news in the inner city of America and you no longer hear that another young black man was gunned down by another black man, then we will know that Black Lives Matter to black. Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Oh, no, but again, not everybody's like that. I'm just saying I have met some people that are like that. Right? Some people that just, that's how they feel. The resentment, and they will hold you, what's the word, complicit? Because of what your ancestors did. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But yeah, some of the ones that I still talk to, like I said, this is what drives me crazy about politics. So even though, as you could probably tell, I tend to be more of a liberal person with some conservative views, depending on the exact topic, is the ones that I normally talk to that are Democrats. They say in their profile, like, if I catch you, if you catch me, oh no, talking to a Trump supporter, I will block you. And I will tell the other resistors that you're a traitor. It's like, bitch, shut the fuck up. I'm 42 years old. My mother's never told me who to talk to. She never even told me not to talk to strangers. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna have some bitch ass on Twitter that just so happens to generally side with me on the same spectrum politically start telling me who I can interact with and who I can't interact with. How is the world supposed to evolve? How are we supposed to move on and learn from one another and try to see each other's point of view if you're going to automatically block everybody that you don't see eye to eye with? Right? Like, to me, that's some dumb shit. I just don't understand it. Now, there's always an exception to the rule, but even then, no matter how vile someone might be, no matter how crazy they may be, just remember, on the flip side of that, they think you're equally as crazy for not being like them. Right? And if you expect them to hear your message, you better be willing to listen to what they have to say, no matter how outlandish it might seem to you. Anyhow, this is an American truck simulator. It's barely 5 gigabytes in size. It's an incredibly massive game. You drive around, you do deliveries, you can hire truckers, assign trucks to them if you buy more trucks. Let me just pull over for a second there. It is hard to drive this game. I came to realize this as much as I love driving this game. It's hard to drive this and obviously look at the chat. Well, Lornal, I'm not into torturing anybody. So I would refrain from saying that. Yes, it is. Yeah, but I don't give a shit what people think of me. You know what I mean? I'm not with anybody. I'm on a side of the spectrum. But, you know, I mean, I know most people aren't religious, but I'm just saying, like, if you want to use the example of Jesus, who did he predominantly speak with? Try to share his message with? Not people that were on board with him already. Right? He reached out to people that didn't know his message or maybe didn't understand him just to see how they would react and see if they would listen to him. Right? So I try to take that approach. Oh my God, you talked to that guy. Don't you understand? That guy did this. He said that. Right. Just because I'm talking to him and I'm not threatening him doesn't mean I support what the fuck he said or did. Like, why can't people understand that? And I argue with so many people. I'm starting to argue with more liberal people than I am conservative people on Twitter because of that. Because like I said, I'm saying like I don't know the percentage. It's got to be at least 90-95% of anybody on Twitter that's got the word #resist in their bio. I could guarantee you, if they catch one of their followers talking to a Trumper, ooh, that ain't gonna end well. But on the flip side of that, if you meet a Trump supporter who's got the eagle and the American flag and the pickup truck as the background picture on their Twitter, and it says God first, America first, like, I mean the ones that really push it out there in their profile, well, then on the flip side of that, you usually tell them that you don't like Trump and they'll just block you almost instantly. Or call you a snowflake and then block you immediately. It's pathetic. Yeah. Yeah, now in the stream, I've said this before. We can talk politics, but there's no attacking. There's none of this shit about we should torture anybody. I have very strong feelings against Trump, but like I said, I've already shared my piece. I'm not into attacking people, especially on a stream. I can get nasty with some people that are nasty with me, you know, on Twitter, but definitely YouTube ain't the place for the nastiness. Well, I mean, because no matter what you think of someone, saying things like, you know, you should torture them is just absolutely insane. Right? Like when the story broke out, which I still think is bullshit, that Trump had COVID, you know, there was people on my Twitter feed that were like, oh, I hope that bitch dies, and it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I mean? Wishing death on someone. Right? And don't get it twisted, man. I hate him with a passion that burns hotter than 1,000 suns. That'll never change. But to wish him ill or death? Come on now. That's why we're not moving forward. That's why there's all these riots. That's why everybody's attacking each other. People just go wild, you know? Off topic, back on topic of this. Have you seen this game played before at all? I mean, I know there isn't like literally much going on right now, other than I'm traveling to a destination. But I guess I'm just kind of showcasing how long it can actually take to get to another location. Like, the map is just huge. The landscape is quite varied. And you'll see a lot of different vehicles carrying a lot of different types of, you know, things with them. The road, some places will look more paved than others. Some other sections might look a little bit more worn out, so it'll look a little bit more kind of like, you know, real life, where not everything's just like perfectly symmetrically even, right? And I will take a look at the chat in just a moment there. But yeah, this is definitely a game I'm quite enjoying. And I'm probably going to start a new profile back at level 1 without everything unlocked and $1 million. Just so I can get that sense of progression. There we go. We'll park right here. Because I am probably going to go there in the next minute or so. And to be honest with you, I'm probably going to play a fishing game on my own, or a bit of farming. See, it's called my fun profile. I'll probably make another one, like I said, and do it like the normal way, where I don't have level 125. Okay. This game looks chill. Do you drive and make deliveries? Yeah, so I guess I had a hard time explaining what exactly it is you do. You make deliveries. You could be transporting goods, trucks, cars, sometimes helicopters, depending on like what job you take. Throughout the map, there's going to be key locations where you can have garages and have up to 5 trucks. Each truck can be lent out to your hired workers that they are also going out and making you money. So it's like a big trucking business. We could customize your truck, the rims, the lights, the interior. And that's essentially it. You do what you would really do if you were a trucker, delivering shit, different types of stuff. And it can take you quite a long time. If you don't use the fast travel system in between your garages that you own, you can fast travel between them. Otherwise, if you want to drive from LA to Utah, yeah, it might take you a long time, actual in-game a long time. I drove to 3 locations within the state of Phoenix. It took me over an hour of actual real time to drive around. It is so in-depth. It is absolutely absurd. It's pretty cheap. You can buy it on like third-party sites like g2a.com. It's a legit site. I've been buying games there for a long time. Works perfectly fine. And came with a little bit of DLC. I think I paid 15 Canadian, so it might have been 12-ish dollars American. And it's just so relaxing. It runs smooth. It looks good. Like I said, the map world is big. You could be driving. You'll randomly see a truck pulled over. Maybe it's smoking. Maybe there's a UPS truck that got in an accident. The cop is there. Maybe you'll be driving and the bars go down. A train's going to pass. You'll see some blimps, hot air balloons, airplanes. You get the idea? It's just the attention to detail really, really immerses you into the game. That sometimes, and I've done it, I could just drive and do nothing. and just have a good time. I can't, like I said, always play these Call of Duties and stuff like that. It's too much. World of Warcraft is the only game that can be high intense. I could be doing like an 80-man PvP battle, and I could just do it from the corner of my eye while looking in the camera and looking at the chat. I don't even have to look, and I'm like, yeah, so how's it going today? And I'm just kicking the shit out of people because it's become like second nature, that game. But that's like a rare exception to the rule. But yeah, it's absolutely a game that I recommend, and it's got like a 97% positive feedback. That's insane. It's overwhelmingly positive. Randomly out of nowhere. Well, in Trump's case, it would be ironic. I don't remember what I said or what somebody else said that would make sense to me. Yeah. No, this is the first time you've watched it? No, I don't have a trailer because what I've been doing is I'll explain that in a minute. Holy cow, so you're making deliveries? Well, I was, but well, not in my particular playthrough I wasn't. No trailer. No, because I was just driving the truck. Does weight of cargo and gas mileage factor into the game? I believe it does. Yes, I believe it does. Yeah, g2a.com. Yeah, like, give me a moment. Bear with me for a minute here. Just give me a second. Emissions of what? Who in the blue hell is this? Okay, let me go. Let me go to my transactions. I want to show you the version that I got. I don't know about any game, but you could buy a lot of them. Sometimes the games are more expensive. Sometimes the games are cheaper. It's one of those things where, sorry, I'm just looking at my history here. Bear with me for a moment. I bought so many games on there, I can't find where mine is. Okay, well that. That's why I don't think I bought it. I might have actually bought it on another website, which is rare. Actually, I think I bought it on Kingwin. Just give me a moment, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, that's why. That makes sense now because it was cheaper on the other website. I do like g2a.com more though. Let me just see. American Truck Simulator. Oh, now it's cheaper on here. Let me just show you what I'm talking about here. Let me bring this over. You, Tyrone, I don't like you. You cheating on your girl. Cheating on your girl. No drama in here. None of that spreading bullshit. Yeah, Green Man Gaming's a good site. So, for example here, this one here. Now this is in Canadian dollars. That's actually pretty insane, and that's the gold edition. That'll give you an extra couple of states. Let's say we go to that one. PC Steam can activate in Canada. From Master Deal, he's got a 100% positive feedback. He's the cheapest one on there for $13.99 Canadian. So you kind of look at it this way. Like I'll show you an example here. This is my my pumpkin head's in the way. Let me raise it a bit. Okay. So as an example, this guy here's got it for $14 Canadian. He's got 100% positive feedback, but he's only made 57 transactions. But there's still 100% positive feedback, no negatives. But for an extra 90 cents, which is probably like an extra 50 cents American, you can go to a guy who's been around a lot longer, who's considered an excellent seller, who's made over 3,000 sales. You see what I'm saying? So me, if I were to buy it right now, I would probably buy it from the seller called Great Keys. And to double check what you get with this game. So that one's the gold edition. You get the base game, you get the New Mexico map DLC, tuning, and steering creations pack. Oh, you have purchased a few. Yeah, okay, I didn't know, like, you know. Yeah, I just want people to, well, Stotts or Purim, whoever's left in here, if they're still in here. I'll let you decide what to do with him if he starts getting too much. So that's an example right there. Let me see what version I have. Let me see what DLC I got. It says I got 15 DLC. I got a different version, which is not a bad thing. Mine came with, I don't have the gold edition. I have the one that came with Arizona, heavy cargo pack, but it was a bit more expensive though. It's not like the one you're getting is not a good deal. Yeah, see, mine includes New Mexico, Nevada, Arizona. But that's the one that I got on Kingwin, whatever the hell it's called. Let me see if there's any other versions. I mean, you can always like buy extra DLC for it, but to start off, it's definitely a good one. Let me see. You'd have to decide, at your own discretion, how much money you want to spend. Yeah, see, this one's a little bit more expensive. Okay, this makes a bit more sense. This is the one I believe I have. American, Oregon, Washington. No, that's not the one. The West Coast, Oregon Simulator. It can get a little confusing because on Steam, there's only a couple of packages right now. But on these websites, there's like different bundles. Yeah, see, Enchanted bundle. Like, that's where it can get a bit confusing. Either which way, it's not bad. It just depends how much content you want up front. Yeah, see, again, this one is way more expensive, and it's the same price as the other one that you can get for 14 Canadian. Well, yeah. Oh, sounds good. Thanks for stopping by. Anyways, at least you know about it there. And maybe I'll see you around. I don't know what's going on in the chat, but yeah, I'm going to definitely head out there in just another minute. Because on my own, like I said, I might start back from scratch on another profile for American Simulator. Kind of get like that whole sense of progression thing on my own. The only reason I've been zipping around without a trailer is just because it's quicker, and I've been unlocking different areas of the game so I can fast travel between them. But yeah. Yeah, so on my own for probably another half hour before I actually go to bed. To be honest, I might play a bit more fishing on my own. I might do this game tomorrow. I kind of feel like going for a hunt. This game runs really, really well. I don't know how it'll do while I'm streaming, though. I'll have to do a test on my own. But like I said, in another couple of days, it won't be so boring. I'll be doing Hitman 3 for a good little while there, right? But in between, like I said, those in betweens, like I keep mentioning, it's going to be probably a lot of simulators just because they have so much replay value. So that's probably what I'm going to be focusing on. Still quite a variety of different games that I could be playing, from Civilization to Skater XL to State of Decay to a fishing game, a trucking game, a sports game, wrestling game, which I guess is a sports game. You know what I mean? Like there's still a huge variety there. But yeah. Big Boy Tyrone. Yeah, I don't know if he's trolling. I don't really know what's going on, to be honest. I was kind of caught up in the chat there. Three, four, five. Right. Big Boy says, "Bro, I don't know you. Just leave me alone before I block you. Say no, I'm not new to this. I'm not new to this is my original name. I had this name ever since 2013. All I'm going to say is it's ironic, or a coincidence rather, that you just so happen to have the exact same name as what Big Simp Tyrone had. But you being called Big Boy Tyrone's not an issue. Coming in, starting shit, saying he's cheating on people and all that, that's not the kind of stuff I want to get into in my chat for obvious reasons. I don't want drama in here. I'm just saying it is a pretty fucking wicked coincidence if that was truly his name. Again, the name's not the issue, but you clearly, did I miss something in the chat? That's been your original name, but you know who he is because you're saying he's cheating on someone or something. So you must know something about him. Because just a few days ago, his name was Big Boy Tyrone. I'm just saying. Well, not only that, he seems to know you on top of that, so that's just too much for me. Anyhow, so that's what's going on with that. Again, you could see my list, YouTube list. These are all, well, not all of them, but some of the games that I do want to kind of cover on a regular basis. I still have yet to do a game of this. Obviously, for people that like this kind of game, this can be great fun. This one can be relaxing as well. I mean, I guess any of them can. I mean, it's possible, but anyhow. Yeah, so I am not too sure what to do next. This game I have on PlayStation. I might give that another go. Maybe tonight or tomorrow on my own. These are games I have on my wish list, obviously, but that doesn't mean I necessarily really want them all. They're just kind of there to remind me if they ever go like on a deep sale or something like that, where I might consider a game that I normally wouldn't. Like I already own this game, but with the mouse and keyboard, because it's first person. You know, if it was like 10 or 15 bucks, I might contemplate it type thing. This game just has not been going on sale lately. See, now this game's on sale, 72% off. Anyways. Quite a bit of stuff out there. But yeah. Oh, I remember that. All right, yeah, like I said, I'm getting tired. I want to play a couple of games before I go to bed. So thanks for stopping by. And like I said, tomorrow I might be around. Reason I wasn't around this afternoon is simple. I was just caught up in the moment. I was flip-flopping every 2 minutes between games. And quite frankly, I didn't feel like having to also watch the chat while I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I was trying to get used to my farming game. I was playing the fishing game. I was doing a little bit of the tutorial, and it just would have been like way too distracting. So I was just like, piss on it. And then by the time I was like, oh yeah, maybe I will for a bit, almost a couple of hours had already gone by, and I was like, I want to eat supper now, right? But yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go. And like I said, maybe tomorrow I'll be around 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time if I do end up showing up. That's when it would be. And if not, maybe tomorrow night. Definitely on the 20th. Actually, wait a second. One more thing before I go. Sorry. I mean, you can leave now if you want. I'm just saying. Let me check something out really quick. I mean, you won't see this. I'm on my PS5. I'm looking at what time the game releases. It's in 1 day, 10 hours. I'm not too good at math. So we're the 18th. I know the game releases on the 20th. So doesn't that mean it should be in 24 hours? Like, well, 20, whatever. Who are you talking about, emissions? So today is the 18th. Tomorrow will be the 19th. Obviously. So 24 hours from now would be 10 p.m. Eastern Time on the 19th. So to me, that should be in 24 hours. 10, 11, 12. It should be in 1 day and 2 hours, but instead it's in 1 day, 10 hours. So it's releasing 8 hours earlier? Or later, rather. So instead of at midnight, that means it's going to release at 8 o'clock in the morning? Who's calling the N-word? What? Who said the N-word? Sounds good. Take it easy. Yeah, I don't get what that means. Why it's in a day and 10 hours. It should be in a day and 2 hours. But instead it's releasing 8 hours later. Yeah, so that means 8 o'clock in the morning. That means tomorrow at midnight I can't play this game, is essentially what I was getting at. I won't be able to do a midnight stream of this game. I'll have to wait till 8 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, chat's getting weird. I'm going to end it. Like I said, I should be around tomorrow at some point, either 2 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right.